the brief was, what's Boris Johnson going to do next? So we've had to dig around that, and everybody's saying he's finished, and he looks fairly finished. But Boris Johnson doesn't think he's finished. And unfortunately, if Boris Johnson doesn't think he's finished, he does still have quite a lot of support from the membership. And if he has the appetite to continue to make noise and make trouble, then whoever is Prime Minister is going to have to reckon with that. So a few little revelations, which I think kind of talk to his mindset. John was talking there about the surprise of the 90 days. And Boris Johnson was also surprised by that, and I think not actually that disappointed by it, because he feels that was such dramatic overreach. And the first thing he said when he heard about the 90 days, he turned to an aide and said, well, if they were trying to bury me, they've cocked up there because they've overreached. So that's kind of where he's coming from mentally. It's his birthday on Monday, as we know, 59 years old. Some people have been teasing him, talking about, that he's getting on a bit. Boris Johnson...
He can actually have a cake this year, though, which
He can
is
have a
nice.
cake. It can come out of the Tupperware, which apparently it didn't on his 56th birthday, which, of course, was the beginning of the downfall. As one of his mates said to me, the ironic thing is he's the last person ever to want to party. It's not that clubbable, Boris. He's a bit of a loner. He doesn't really like having loads of people around him. So there's a small gathering of friends and family at the house in Oxfordshire, apparently, on Monday. But he's been going round when people have been taunting him about his age, saying Churchill did not become Prime Minister until he was 65.
Oh.
He has apparently used that in the last week and has been using it a great deal. So what I've tried to do is just drill down and look at how sort of realistic this all is. And, on the face of it, practically speaking, Boris Johnson is not now on the candidates list. He would have to get put back on it. But they say, look, if he went in advance to an association, got them on side, and they all wanted him, you would get 2/3 of the membership threatening to quit if he wasn't allowed to stand. So the intriguing thing, talking to one of his sort of closer allies, there's a lot of people who claim to be allies of Boris Johnson, but the people who sort of speak on his behalf, and frankly, they think the most likely scenario is that he does sit it out until the election. He may, as John says, if the situation improves, go and do some campaigning. But they're talking about him going into submarine mode. The reason he's writing about cheese and chorizo is because he doesn't particularly want to cause masses of trouble initially, though we will be hearing and reading things about Ukraine levelling up and, of course, Brexit. But what it seems that he's going to do is keep his head down. And one of the quotes sort of from these people is that, he's going to submerge, but at some point, we don't know exactly when, the periscope will rise again.